On February 18 at 7:42 a.m., Teddi Mellencamp posts 2 words, no trace. Within 11 minutes, 86,000 likes flood in. By 9:03 a.m., the internet declares her cancer gone. That's not what she said. At 9:17 a.m., fan pages celebrate a total cure. By noon, screenshots explode across group chats. Confetti emojis. Crying faces. Victory captions. But her exact phrasing is more careful than anyone notices, and that's not even the worst part. Because at 2:36 p.m., a single sentence buried in her caption changes everything. 16 words. No bold font. No headline grabs it. The meaning is precise. Clinical. Controlled. And that's not even the worst part. Everyone assumes no trace means eradicated. Finished. Over. But in oncology, those words often mean something very different. Same phrase. Different reality. So why does the nuance matter so much right now? Here's the contradiction. She celebrates progress. Yet she also schedules follow-ups every 90 days. Blood panels. Scans. Monitoring. If it's gone, why the calendar reminders? The timeline doesn't match the celebration. And before anyone argues this is semantics, stop. Rewind. Words in cancer treatment are engineered for precision. By the end of this, you'll understand why no trace can be hope and caution at the same time. At 6:12 p.m., she appears on camera. Minimal makeup. Soft lighting. She says she's grateful. Not cured. Not finished. Grateful. That word choice lands carefully, and it signals something subtle. In medical language, no evidence of disease means scans detect nothing visible. It does not guarantee microscopic cells are gone. That difference lives in the fine print. And most fans never read fine print. By March 1st, trending hashtags declare her cancer-free. The phrase spreads across 14 fan accounts in under an hour. But that label isn't hers. It's the internet's. And that distinction changes everything. Stop. Look at the screenshot again. She never writes cancer-free. Not once. The internet fills in the blank. And here's the number that shifts perspective. Recurrence monitoring can last 5 years. 5 years of scans. 5 years of waiting rooms. 5 years of controlled optimism. That's the reality behind 2 celebratory words. The celebration is real, but so is the vigilance. At 8:04 a.m. the next day, she thanks her doctors by name. Specific gratitude. Specific team. That detail signals ongoing partnership, not a final chapter. And partnerships like that don't just end overnight. Meanwhile, comment sections split in 2. One side declares victory. The other urges caution. Screenshots fly. Debates ignite. The emotional temperature spikes, but the medical definition stays steady. Here's what most people miss. Remission and cure are not synonyms. Remission can mean undetectable. Cure implies permanence. Those words carry weight measured in years, not days. And this is where it hits harder than anyone expects. She says, I celebrate today. Not I celebrate forever. That single sentence reframes the entire moment, and it's the line people screenshot. Celebration in 24-hour increments. That's how many patients live after treatment. One scan at a time. One clear result at a time. It's strength built in short horizons, not sweeping declarations. By March 5th, headlines simplify the story. Shorter phrases. Bigger font. But simplification erases nuance. And nuance is exactly what protects expectations from crashing later. And here's the emotional twist. She isn't correcting fans aggressively. She's letting joy breathe. Because hope matters. But she never abandons precision. That balance is intentional. So what does no trace actually mean right now? It means scans are clear. It means treatment worked, for this moment. It does not promise forever. And that's the part people struggle to sit with. Right now, as of today, Teddi Mellencamp stands in remission. Vigilant. Grateful. Watched by millions who want certainty. But certainty isn't what medicine offers. And honestly? Most people prefer the fairy tale. March 8, 6:48 a.m. A wellness blog misquotes her update and declares fully cured. It feels harmless. Just optimism. But within 3 hours, the headline outranks her original post, and that distortion spreads faster than truth. Her team notices by 10:02 a.m. They consider requesting a correction. Draft emails open. Then close. If they push back, they amplify it. If they stay silent, the myth grows, and silence starts looking strategic. By March 9, 2 daytime talk shows repeat the phrase cancer-free. Not quoting her. Just summarizing. The language mutates on air. Millions hear it once. Few rewind. And the snowball gets heavier. Here's the bigger problem. Insurance paperwork still lists her under active surveillance. Quarterly imaging. Specialist oversight. That reality doesn't match the celebration narrative, and that contradiction is ticking quietly. Stop. This is where it shifts. According to oncology guidelines, recurrence risk is highest within the first 24 months. 24. Not 2 weeks. That timeline dwarfs the viral headlines, and it reframes everything. She posts again on March 11 at 8:21 p.m. Smiling. Workout clip. Caption, feeling strong. It's authentic. But fans interpret it as proof of permanence. A fitness video becomes medical evidence, and that leap is dangerous. Someone screenshots her old diagnosis announcement from 2023. Places it beside the new post. Look how far she's come. The comparison goes viral. But side-by-side images erase the middle, and the middle is where risk lives. Meanwhile, her inner circle tightens privacy settings. Close friends list shrink from 112 names to 27. That's not random. That's containment. And containment usually signals something brewing beneath the surface. On March 14, a fan account posts, "She beat it." 3 words. 42,000 likes. It trends locally by 3:06 p.m. But beat implies finality. Medicine rarely uses that word, and language keeps drifting further. And here's the spiral. The more the public celebrates a cure, the harder it becomes for her to clarify nuance without sounding ungrateful. Gratitude traps her. Silence traps her. Either move shifts perception, and pressure builds. March 18, 7:55 a.m. A medical follow-up reminder buzzes on her phone. 3-month scan approaching. The public sees triumph. Her calendar shows vigilance. Those parallel realities are on a collision course, and it's getting closer. She considers addressing it directly. Draft caption, "Remission isn't the same as cure." She deletes it at 9:14 p.m. Because correcting the narrative risks dimming hope, and hope has become communal property. Meanwhile, a health influencer with 2.3 million followers reposts the cancer-free claim. It reaches audiences who never saw her original words. Now the misinterpretation scales exponentially, and it's out of her hands. Her team debates issuing a formal clarification on March 20. Lawyers looped in. Tone reviewed. Every adjective weighed. But formal statements feel cold against celebratory headlines, and the optics grow fragile. Time jump. March 28. The scan day arrives. Hospital air smells sterile. The waiting room clock ticks louder than usual. Public joy fades into private uncertainty, and this is the part nobody posts about. White medium star viral moment, she whispers to a friend, "Remission means I celebrate today." It doesn't promise tomorrow. That single sentence fractures the fantasy. It's honest. It's human. And it hits like glass breaking. By 4:42 p.m., results arrive. Clear again. Relief floods the room. But relief is temporary fuel. The cycle resets. 90 days until the next scan. The celebration window narrows, and the vigilance clock restarts. Publicly, she posts a simple heart emoji at 6:03 p.m. Privately, she schedules the next imaging for June 27. That duality defines survivorship. Visible joy. Invisible planning. And most people only see half. Here's the truth tightening around her. The longer the public calls it over, the harder the fall would feel if anything changes. Expectations inflate quietly. And inflated expectations burst loudly. So now she stands between two narratives, cured icon or vigilant survivor. The words people choose today could shape how they react tomorrow. And tomorrow, in this story, is never as far away as it feels. June 27, 3:18 p.m. The imaging center calls. Her phone vibrates once on the kitchen counter. She sees the hospital ID. Her hand freezes midair. The room goes silent, and time starts stretching. She answers. Hi, this is Teddy. A pause. Papers shuffle on the other end. Her eyes narrow slightly. She doesn't blink. 2 seconds pass. They feel like 2 hours, and then the sentence begins. We found something. Just 4 words. Not loud. Not dramatic. Clinical. Her shoulders stiffen. She stares at the wall. The air leaves the room, and everything before this moment feels fragile. She asks for clarification. Location. Size. Next steps. The doctor speaks carefully. Additional imaging required. Biopsy recommended. No conclusions yet. But the word additional echoes, and it echoes loudly. She ends the call at 3:22 p.m. Doesn't move. Phone still in her hand. The clock on the stove reads 3:23. Then 3:24. She remains standing. The celebration from March feels very far away, and the spiral snaps tight. 14 million views in 36 hours. At 5:08 p.m., she texts her inner circle, need scans again. Her husband calls immediately. Close friends respond within 90 seconds. The private group chat lights up first, and the fear moves outward. By 7:42 p.m., a cryptic Instagram story appears. Black background. White text, health is a journey. No details. Screenshots multiply instantly. The first viral tweet misquotes it within 8 minutes, and the wave begins. Headlines shift overnight. Setback? Scare? Recurrence? The word everyone avoided returns to timelines. Comment sections fracture again. Support floods in. Speculation floods faster, and she says nothing publicly. And now we're here. 2 narratives colliding again, remission celebration versus uncertain scans. The biopsy date is set for July 3, results pending. The internet waits. But waiting has never been quiet, and this time, neither is she.